Hey everybody, happy Friday of week 3 of our Cybersecurity Awareness Month video series. October is flying, it's crazy. I'm Dawn Church, I'm WorkSmart's events manager, and of course, Marissa Wayman is here again with us today.
Here I am.
Alrighty, so we're gonna talk about kind of a big trend, right? Working remotely. We're going to continue on that conversation from the other day about haunted houses, because working remotely is really, it's just going to be the norm for many businesses in the future. And it can be a living room nightmare for small businesses to stay secure when employees are signing in from home. Employees like me, well, we want access quickly and easily, and of course securely, to apps and data that help us do our jobs whenever and wherever we happen to be, which, sounds like a security risk, and honestly, it can be. If you missed it, check out our video from earlier this week on haunted houses for some great work from home security tips. So one of those tips that we talked about for business administrators was to limit the use of personal devices like employee-owned laptops and cell phones for work purposes, which we know kind of isn't really always 100% feasible. So today we're going to talk about a solution for some of the security risks that come with the use of personal devices. And that is a good mobile device management strategy. Woo! So mobile device management, it can't address every security issue for personal devices, like patch management and antivirus standards. But the right device management strategy will help protect and secure your organization's applications and data on any device, yours or theirs. So this means that you can meet your employees' needs without sacrificing this kind of security. And you can also keep your costs really low. So it's a win-win-win-win everywhere.
Yes, it's a win. And we've talked a lot about how Microsoft 365 boosts your productivity, making it a tool we're using in our everyday to do our everyday. So wouldn't it be great if we could just use what we're familiar with to take advantage of more security? Well, that's what Microsoft's done with Intune. It's a cloud-based service that provides security for devices used in and for the purpose of this conversation, more importantly, when they're taken outside of the workplace. But, rather than just like list off the features, we want to have a little bit more Halloween fun and talk about the nightmares that Intune helps us solve and turn into our brightest dreams.
That's so nice. Yes, but I am the bearer of bad news today, so I'm going to start with all the nightmares. And nightmare number 1 is your employee is working from home and opens files on a highly compromisable personal tablet.
Well, what's really terrifying here is that this is something people do up. They end up doing a lot, even when they aren't working from home. Uh, could be just when they're in back-to-back meetings with clients and they're on the move. Unfortunately, many small businesses haven't invested in a way to address this, or they just don't think it's a cause for concern. But you can restrict access to company data to only occur within Microsoft 365 web or mobile apps. For example, a team member couldn't just have their email account set up on, let's say, the iPhone's default mail app. They would have to install the Microsoft Outlook app to gain access to that company-owned data. The benefit is that these apps have built-in security controls that makes sure that the data is not at risk when we access it beyond the physical boundaries of the workplace. And that includes using your personal device, even when you are in the office. But since we have to work within these apps, you can use Intune to put up these additional restrictions to keep your data safe by controlling or stopping, how we share data within these apps or outside of these apps.
Mm-hmm. Which brings me to nightmare number 2, and that is getting your employees to enroll in a device management tool. This
Well,
is a big one. Yeah, it's a big one. And I understand why. A lot of employees just don't want to carry a second phone around. So bring your own device is definitely growing in popularity. But they also may not want to have the company restricting what's happening on their personal devices. And many small businesses find it challenging to get employees to enroll their personal devices into a mobile device management program as a result.
and it's so true. It gives me the chills just thinking about it. Uh, but Intune offers a BYOD approach that doesn't spook employees. That's called mobile application management, or funny enough, MAM. You get controlled access with MAM to these company apps without requiring the install of a management software. It only manages the apps like Office, Outlook, and all those things that we talked about a minute ago. And with MAM, you can implement these additional protection policies to prevent employees from doing things like copying and pasting outside from a company-owned email account to a personal email account, or even within the same Outlook, the same Outlook app. Like my Outlook app has both my personal Microsoft account plus my work Microsoft account. This gives employees the ability to use their personal devices without worrying about the man controlling the device. But for your company owned devices or personal devices that need a little bit more control, Intune's mobile device management solution, or MDM, allows you to centrally manage the complete device. So that means you can control things like what apps can be installed, you can restrict the function of the device, and just even block it from things like recreational use, which helps increase your security for sure.
Mhm. Okay, so the last nightmare is an employee's device gets stolen.
Terrific nightmare. But it can be a pretty easy one to solve, uh, even if it's an employee-owned device. MAM allows you to remotely wipe any company application from that device, like a magical disappearing act. And while it's a bummer that the device is gone, at least you have the security of knowing that your data won't be compromised. With mobile device management, you now have the ability to wipe not just the application, but the entire device itself, and even reset it back to factory settings.
Mhm. Yeah. So the moral of the story is having secure and easy access to device to applications like Teams for your employees means that you can replicate that collaborative environment that we're already used to having in the office wherever we happen to be. So no matter what device team members uses, they will be able to safely access company data and work alongside everyone else like they would be, in the office, but from home when you're using tools like MAM and MDM. So with that, that's all that we have for today. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you next week.
See ya.